Alan, have you got anything aspiring to say?
I do. We're in one this week. We're in Mitsubishi's Outlander Aspire. Now, David, you've been driving this around this week. I've had just a little drive myself. What can you tell me?
It's bigger. Its response from the
Bit
public.
bigger than what?
The past models.
Oh, bigger than past models. The front of this car, David, is very, very current Mitsubishi. Now, all brands have a look. Jaguar's got a look, Audi's got a look, Honda's got a look, God forbid. And Mitsubishi has a look too, and it involves these big swoops of genuine fake artificial plastic chrome that swoop around what here are the headlights. You pointed out, David, that there's so much design in that. But what do you think about the rest of the front of the car? What about the grille?
Well, I think, firstly, it's very high here.
But
yes?
you look at it from the side, and that's quite a slope on that.
Here.
Just on the end bit, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The wheels, David.
20-inch wheels.
Are they 20-inch really? It's got smart entry.
Yes, yeah.
That's because the key's in the car.
Yep.
I quite like the way this back window goes up. I like that little kick up. I think they've done that extremely well.
Yeah.
Just in case you're in any doubt, you are in an Aspire.
Yeah. It's fairly traditional in its looks.
And it's electric. There's also a lock button there, which I like very much.
You can get this in a 5-seater or a 7-seater, depending on the model. This, of course, is a 7-seater, and that back area is something that neither you or I want to go near.
No, and we're absolutely not. You can see that the middle part, an armrest with some cup holders. You can also take down the rear seats using that button. Sadly, under the rear floor, there is no spare tyre.
Well, look, this is roomy.
That is spacious, and that's set for you to drive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at this.
But here's the thing. To adjust just the back, I've got to sort of have it right before I get going. I don't want to adjust it along the way, but hey, plenty of room under here.
Got a couple of map pockets, plenty of room for your feet, plenty of room for your knees.
Little huff.
Tablet and phone holder up the top.
It has the vents that you can direct and adjust the flow, but it caught me up there for a while. There is actually power points under here.
Just down where you can't see them.
Pretty good sizable screen there, not quite in the form of the Kia, which melds it all together, does stick up a bit, but the thing that I really like about it is that the graphics here are much clearer and aim for simplicity.
You've got air conditioning down yonder. 2 zones.
Yep.
Yeah, the spring bobbling on.
Nice and neat. A gear selector for the...
And an easy place to press the park.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I've got my selecting, given this is the 4-wheel drive version, eco, normal, off-road, dirt, snow.
And there's a parking brake and park holes, some cup holders as well.
Yeah.
Nice big armrest.
They're pretty well set out, reasonable amount of space
David,
in
I
there.
like this a lot. The steering wheel I really like, David. I love the knurled metal look over on the left there. But it's, you know what's driving me absolutely bananas?
What's that?
They're not symmetrical. We've also got an excellent reversing camera.
Look at the clarity of that in shade, yet it's still picking up very well.
And we've got DAB, and we've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But I also like the nice big clear buttons below. I really like the fact that there's a proper button that I can press and feel. Some nice vents below that, David. I think this is a really, really nice cabin. What is it, 130 kilowatts?
135 kilowatts.
135 kilowatts, you know, I think that is insufficient. We want more power. Power! Do you want more power?
I always want more power.
You command respect, but what you want is power.
Head-up display, which is rather helpful.
It's handling this inner city stuff, I think, very, very well.
Why was he there?
Well, I assume he was turning.
This CVT, I'm in normal mode.
And
It still operates better than some of the other CVTs.
But
I do
David,
not like
why-
Toyota's
but
CVTs.
why not just put a bloody automatic in it? The steering, very light. I'm looking at these dials here, and I don't know. I actually quite like the tumbling dial. I think that looks quite nice.
Well, most of the dials...
Oh, jeez. You probably didn't see that, but the kid just didn't even look. Just turned right, didn't even look. Nearly had a kid as a bonnet ornament.
Yeah. The thing about the tumbling dials is that fundamentally they're dials that you hardly ever look at. One's a tacho. Why would you really need a tacho in a family car which has a CVT gearbox?
Well, you hardly need a speedo in a car with a CVT gearbox.
Well, certainly not with a digital. It's much better. You've got a digital speed reading. Love it. Simple to the
Well, not
point.
only that, David, it's in my heads-up display.
Yes.
Also in my heads-up display, which I quite like, is my speed sign recognition. Now, it's flashing at me telling me it's a 40 zone, and it's going to do that whether it's a 40 zone or not. So, because because the school zones are time sensitive, and at the moment all the kids are on holidays anyway. Blimey. This is very quiet. You know what, David? You're not going to believe me when I say this.
I'll believe you like I normally believe you, Alan.
So you're not going to believe me when I say this.
Go ahead.
I'm liking this a lot. I like the looks. It's extremely comfortable. I could imagine doing a very long drive. What's my fuel consumption been?
It's rated at 8 point something or other, 0.2, I think. Around the urban area, it's nearly 10.
What is it on the highway?
About 7, I think, a bit under 7. It's got a 58 litre. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's 58.
I am going to quote you on it,
Of course.
and I'm going to spifflicate you if you're wrong. That's what I always do. I don't get a chance to get a leg up very many times. Mostly it's you're right and I'm wrong. Now, it is all-wheel drive, but despite these off-road settings, David, I rather fancy I shan't be going far off-road.
And you can get a 2-wheel drive in the lower categories, variants. It's not the elegance of the Alpha Dash and the flowing lines, but it's practical.
feel the top of the dash, David.
Yeah.
It's all nice and soft. That Hilux I was in last week, I thought I was going to chip a tooth just looking at it. It was so damned hard. This is the top of the doors are positively luxurious.
One of the other things that I think I've read is that they have automatic emergency braking even in reverse.
I like that. That'll stop old ladies from getting dings in it from those little bollards, despite the fact that they've got this massive camera. With that camera, I find I can park on a dime. Absolute precision. Pop my teeth back in.
So
The blind spot monitor, that's on the outside. It's just a little red triangle, but I'm okay with that so long as it's a warning
but
of some
that can
kind.
also come up on the dash, but I
Yeah.
don't know how. Put your left-hand blinker
Well,
on. when
probably you've got. Is there different views on this that you haven't? Let's go. Change display view. Let's do that. Is that more to your liking?
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So you can get the round dials if you want to. We just happen to have had the one.
What's this wee white, man? You told me that's all I could get. You led
I
me.
merely said I don't like them. I didn't say that it was not an alternative.
Now that I've explored the menu, I've got round dials up here with a slightly different view, which I quite like. It's given me a little bit. I can see here that David was listening to Life as a Bra Boy.
As in the gang. This is
Oh, I thought he just had big titties.
it's not my style.
Excuse me for breathing the sunken air.
Alan, I would describe this as a very good, comfortable family car.
It's competent, it's comfortable, and my only reservation is the goddamn awful CVT. I don't like any CVTs, but at least this one does step.
This is better. It's getting better. To the point they keep calling it an 8-speed because it's got the steps.
It's because they don't want to own up to the fact that it's not an 8-speed.
The other thing is it doesn't have a lot of power, so you don't really hear or feel the effect of a CVT
Absolutely.
as much.
But it has come time for that moment again where you must hit like.
Or leave a comment.
And above all, over here, to subscribe.